Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a rowdy couple in love that loves reacting to some RWBY.
Yeah.
This is it, Volume 8, Episode number 14, Season Finale.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a heavy one, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, well, the last episode was pretty dark.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I expect us to have some losses on our side, but I do need at least one really good we kick-ass moment.
Okay, all right, one good kick-ass moment.
Yeah.
So if you want all of our reactions for this series, we got a playlist for you. And if you want early ad-free access, you want to jump ahead, check out Patreon. Links in the description of this video.
Yeah.
Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Speed through version.
Hopefully the kick-ass moment is Winter just finally putting an end to Ironwood.
I really hope so.
And it's not the other way around. That would just make me very pissed.
Yeah.
This is where she reforms. She's back. Ooh, nice! Stabby stab.
Winter, do not blame me.
It's not my fault.
I have sacrificed everything.
No, you have sacrificed everyone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
You closed the borders. You squeezed Mantle until it broke.
I have only done what's best for Remnant.
Oh!
No one is
Point blank. Nice.
Priority 1.
Weiss, all she's ever wanted is the maiden power. I can buy you all time.
Penny.
Yeah, no, damn. Took her out of the prize.
I'm right here. I'm what you want.
I want it.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yes, Blake!
Get up!
Come on, Crow, kick her ass.
Making a mistake, Harriet. What happened to Clover? I regret.
Up already! Get out of the way!
Nice.
Here, please. Don't do this. They're still evacuating in Mantle.
Why can't you just let me do my job?
Because you're our friend! And we won't let you go through with this!
No!
Oh crap.
Anybody know how to disarm that thing?
She's just like so effortless.
Leave her alone.
Nice.
Alright, so that took her off the playing board right now.
Yep.
Come on! We have to do this for Ye.
No.
She's still alive.
How'd you get back?
What?
It's a one-way ticket.
Oh, that is some serious bullshit. Use your silver eyes. Use them now.
Gotta go!
It doesn't work against the
No time
Grim.
to make it out of the blast range.
Well, sure, like it affects her somehow.
Killed us all. I'm sorry.
What's this guy doing?
You can't!
I can. If it means saving all of my friends.
All your fault.
Yeah, look what you did, Harriet. You being an absolute asshole cost another friend. And I am putting that at your doorstep, Harriet.
Whatever you wanted, I hope it was worth it.
She falling off? Oh, nice! Yeah!
Shit.
No.
She's gonna step on your
Yep.
hand.
You should have never threatened me. And you should have never been born.
Way to go, Blake.
Oh shit.
Frickin' hate Cinder. Okay, Penny, stop being sweet and kill her.
May, Joanna, any huntsman that went through that gate, bring him here.
I still want to know how the hell Neapolitan got back.
It figures that a Schnee would be the last one standing, letting all her friends die first.
You wouldn't know anything about friends.
Yep.
Yeah, Penny.
Jean. Nice. Never thought this team up would happen. Against Cinder.
No, don't feel bad for you.
Back.
I hope your arm makes you hurt all the time. No. Look at Weiss. Look at Weiss. Look at someone other than her.
Sean. He can be the Winter Pig.
Just hold on.
my semblance.
No. There's not enough time to heal me.
No.
She can't get the staff and the power. But there is something you can do.
No, I don't know where the others are, but Weiss will give us time.
Let me choose this one thing. Trust me.
I know, Bucky.
I know, Bucky.
Oh, for Jean to have to do that. For him to have to be the one.
Salutations! You made it!
Where... What is this?
She's giving her the power.
I thought of you, and here we are.
Oh, Penny.
It seemed fitting that it should be you. It was your power, after all.
No.
He used to kick Ironwood's ass.
You were always the real maiden at heart. I was just a machine. Just following orders.
Not anymore.
You were my friend.
Thank you for trusting me with this. When you're gone,
I won't be gone. I'll be part of you.
good. I'm glad.
Aw, twist that knife. Thank you.
Alright, this episode is really sucking so far.
So, the destiny I chose for you has arrived.
You chose nothing. This was a gift.
Okay, honey.
You're eating it now.
I'm so sorry, but we need to not eat it. So can I just think I'm just gonna... Just for right now, you're a good girl and I love you so much. I just don't want you eating the fabric, okay? Oh, she hates me right now. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. It's just you were eating it. Good girl, Foxy.
So, the destiny I chose for you has arrived.
You chose nothing.
Because you are nothing.
This was a gift.
Yes! Yes!
Oh,
Oh!
satisfying.
Yep.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it go?
Where did it go? Yeah! She looks fat ass. Song of Ice and Fire. Holy shit, yeah! Focus.
Focus, focus, focus. Please, please, please.
This is what she wanted to do. She wanted to throw you off your game. Rage against her. Be smart.
We need to go.
Yeah.
Now.
You are going to pay for everything you've done.
Sure as hell hope so. Well, he's joining the rest of the team. They can't all be dead.
No.
That's what he got at the end of the episode there.
Yeah, Winter, they could use your help.
Help is on the way.
It cannot end there.
Oh, what? He's still fucking alive? Salem came back to claim her prize.
I'm kind of
Failed
okay
you
if
again, Master.
Salem is the one who kills the
They
general.
used the staff to save thousands. Before our allies fell, Neapolitan killed Ruby. And before Ruby and her teammates fell, they used the lamp's final question. I couldn't stop them. I couldn't even stop the maiden from escaping without putting the relics in jeopardy.
You're a failure.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't care.
I don't think she's buying your bullshit either.
In pursuit of a new world, no cost is too great. You've done well, Cinder.
No.
Our work here is done.
But kill Ironwood.
You said they used the staff. I assume you rid the world of their creation. What did you create in its stead?
I merely added more flames to the fires of Atlas. And that's checkmate.
Was that our dude with the computer who was burned alive then?
Think so. Yeah, she's getting back at Watts. That's gotta be horrific.
Oh no.
Just
He's realizing he can't get a hold of Ruby. Or Yang.
Darkness like midnight.
oh, cool. They all ended up on a beach. Awesome.
They're on the Lost Island.
Yeah. Bah. They're a tree. Every time I see a tree like that. Well, you had your one satisfying moment.
Oh, I did. Winter.
Yeah.
Finally. Everything happened for a reason at the right time in that Winter would not have been ready for the powers before. Like, she was just a soldier following orders
Yep.
before. She needed to find her way to being her own woman and knowing in her own mind what was right and wrong and being able to stand up to General Ironwood before she was worthy of the powers. So in that sense, everything lined up and happened the way it was meant to happen for the right reason. I don't accept that was that Penny had to die, and I don't like that. And everything in the episode went so fast that I don't think I've fully come to the realization and acceptance of that yet. Like, part of me is like, oh, well, but we saw Yang disappear and Ruby, and so like part of me is just like, everyone disappeared, but like
She got stabbed.
really died,
Yeah,
though.
she died. She's dead.
And even saying that, I still, like, my brain is still like, but no, she's fine. Penny always comes back. Penny always gets rebuilt. And
But
like,
she's not a...
I know she's a human now, but like the two sides of my brain are fighting. The side of me that's in total denial and can't come to terms with it, and the other side that's like logical. And I was like, no, this time she really is dead.
That was really tough. Especially John's scream. Oh,
yeah.
that almost sent me over the edge. I mean, having to see Pyrrha die because of these maiden powers, and then he has to be the one. You're trying to get me now.
And all that, and we still haven't seen Cinder get it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm at the point of like, I don't just want her to get it. I want the Boltons to deliver it. Like, that is the visceral, total hatred I have towards her right now.
Yeah.
And I don't care about her sob story about, oh, her arm hurts. Oh, she's back. No, I don't care. I want that arm to hurt. I want that arm to hurt you every day of your miserable existence. I don't care about your tormented past. Don't care. No sympathy. Like, I want you to be destroyed. Like, that's where I'm at right now with her.
Awesome that they're all on an island now, you know, and they all get to, I don't know what the hell they're going to do in this alternate world, or
they're on the Lost Island.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to see a polar bear? Is there going to be a
smoke monster?
Random black stallion and a smoke monster? And is there going to be another crew on the other half of the island that's going to try and secretly abduct them? So
it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. Ironwood, I mean, I kind of wanted him to die by get his own blast. That would have been satisfying.
But very quick.
But there is something poetic and satisfying about Ironwood going down with the ship and going down with Atlas, that he tried so desperately just to protect that. He was willing to sacrifice everything just to protect Atlas. And in the end, he goes down with it. And that's his undoing. And like, yeah, so in a way that was satisfying. But then you didn't really even get to appreciate it or like be like, it was satisfying because it wasn't a fuck yeah. Like we were both like, hell yeah, when Winter hit the blast back at him. But seeing him go down like that, like you couldn't like celebrate his death, which sounds terrible, like celebrating someone's death. But like, you know, it's a character in a show, it's make believe. And, you know, and so to see Crow's face and the horror just on all their faces, really, as they're watching Atlas crash into Mantle and just the devastation that causes, and Crow trying to get in touch with his family. Yeah, it was really tough. It's kind of like going back to Game of Thrones. It's kind of like with Joffrey at the Purple Wedding. Which, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones yet. Okay, so it's gonna jump ahead like a minute or something like that. When Joffrey dies at the Purple Wedding, and you're just like, this character you really hate, right? And you're just like, you're ready for him to die and for his downfall. But just the look on his mom's face, on Cersei's face, like in the horror in her eyes, even who she's not a great person either, but still, like it's a mother and her child, and like him dying in such a horrific way, it was like just like that was not satisfying.
It reminds you that he's a child.
Exactly.
So as horrible as he is, there's like that part of you that goes, he's a child. Like there could have been a path to like him learning better, maybe. I mean, probably not in Joffrey's case. Yeah. He was a psychopath. But, there's just that thing about it. And I don't know, it tugs at our humanity in just the right way, but also in just the wrong way, because then we're not satisfied with what feels like a just ending to a terrible character. Ironwood, I mean, I'm torn. I really was. So like, when he got blasted, I was like, that was my moment that I was waiting for. Like she got the powers. She took Ironwood off the chessboard. Like, yes, at least we get that. But like for him to have been so egomaniacal and full of himself and righteous in the I know better than everyone. My sacrifice matters more than everyone's. I'm doing what's right when everyone else doesn't see it. Like, for him to literally just be this crumpled figure on the ground that is so insignificant that Salem and Cinder both walk past him without seeing him as a threat, without giving him a second thought. He's just that insignificant. There's something satisfying about that, for him to have to be crumpled on the floor in full acknowledgement of his own failure as the ship is going down with its captain, and for the people that he was trying so hard to defeat to see him as nothing. I mean, he could have been just like a rat on the floor for the amount of attention they paid him. So like, that is satisfying. Even though in the moment it wasn't as satisfying as I wanted it to be, like the blast would have been more satisfying. But like in the hindsight and thinking it through, I'm like, all right, that's satisfying. And that's pretty fitting for Ironwood.
Yeah, and just he looks so pathetic with that gun. Like, I almost, like, if I was doing an abridged or whatever parody of this show, it'd be like, as he lifts the gun, he's like, it's like, pew, 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 pew.
Yes.
Like, that's what it felt like. I'm like, you really think that's going to do anything, dude? Like, you have no chance.
Yeah.
Winter, when she finally had the Winter Maiden powers, looked so freaking cool.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for her going forward, her character.
Yeah, my only beef with Winter in this episode is you and Jean are running to the archway. And you don't think you could have just helped him along a little bit so that he made it too? Like, realizing at the last second that he's miles behind you because you've flown away. Like, you guys were there together.
And you can fly. Like, you could
like,
carry him.
Yeah, that's my one beef.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she was great in this episode. But like, that one thing, I'm just like, come on, like, you two were blasted apart when you were together. He'd been helping your sister get to the archway. Like, you think maybe you could consider him as a person still and like help him too? He's not just like this nothing to be left behind.
And I know we were like getting on her about when she watched her sister die and be like, no, you can't, you don't have time to grieve. Like, I mean, obviously it's completely devastating. And like, in that sense, I would have crumbled like, and wouldn't have been able to ever get up. But you know, we're just like, I was like so worried for her. It wasn't like, like, come on, you pussy, get up and fucking fight. Like,
don't turn your back on Cinder.
Yeah,
she's still
it's
there.
like, I don't want you to die now either. Like, please don't. Like, you can grieve another time, but she'll be fine. Like, they're not going to kill off all the main characters. Don't worry. Your sister's going to be fine. You're in a story. It's okay.
Just don't die.
Yeah. You can't die. You just had a really cool moment. So that's what that was about. So it was satisfying. I don't like Cinder, but it was satisfying seeing Neapolitan like, yeah, this is the person you were helping. This person who is going to like, who you don't mean anything to. And like, I mean, not that Cinder meant anything to Neapolitan. It was a very like, you know, transactional relationship, but it's like, hey, if you get into bed with the devil, then you're going to get burnt.
I would like an explanation as to how Neapolitan was able to come back through the portal. Because it was one way. So how come everyone else is not able to come back? Like, Winter couldn't come back with her maiden powers to save Jean. No one can come back. And yet somehow Neapolitan manages to go through and come back. That feels like a convenience for the sake of plot and storytelling that's not justified by what we already know to be true.
I think if I watched it again, maybe we could watch it again. But like, the only thing I can think of is if we didn't see it, like, as she gets pushed through, she hooks the top of her umbrella. So she's not like actually dragged all the way through and then comes back. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, if anybody knows what we didn't see, that's, as long as it's not a spoiler, do tell us. The other thing to what you were just talking about with her relationship with Cinder that will be very interesting is, assuming that Ruby, Yang, Weiss, like all of our main players are on this island, so is Neapolitan. Mm-hmm. And assuming they can all come back, if Ruby and Weiss and Yang haven't killed Neapolitan, which I wouldn't be sorry if they did, but if they haven't, then Neapolitan's going to come back too, which is going to be very interesting to see how that plays out with Cinder, since Cinder was just very comfortable with killing her now that her services were no longer needed.
I hope Neapolitan takes the Emerald route and comes over to the good side. I want to cheer for her again.
See, I don't know if Neapolitan's going to come over to the good side, but I could see Neapolitan killing Cinder.
Yeah.
In sort of that,
that'd
like,
be so satisfying.
That like worm tongue and Saruman kind of style. Like, I could see that kind of situation playing out, and I wouldn't be sorry about that.
Great move at the end there by Stretch. Sorry, I never remembered your name. You guys told me his name like 15 times in the comments, but I never commits memory. I think the other girl's name was Elm.
I was gonna say they're trees, but then you said she's Elm, so he's. They were both. I remember they were both plants. I was like, oh, it's the plants I can't remember. Of course, I remember the animals. Like I remember Marrow and Harriet because they're animal related, but I don't remember the plants. So if she's Elm.
He's gone.
Oh, God.
It doesn't matter. You don't need to remember his name now because he's, in memoriam. Stretch.
We should at least know his name in memoriam.
All right. Top 5 characters from this season.
I mean, it's kind of like it's twisting my guts inside to say some of these names. But like, I think I have to give a lot of it to the villains just because they like
surprising.
They got such a visceral response from me.
Okay.
This season. So I do have to give it to the general because he went so far down the dark path.
Yeah.
That to go from a character that we were cheering for, that we liked and respected, to a character. Well, actually, I take that back. If we go all the way back to the beginning, we were a skeptic about the general in the very beginning.
The very beginning. We were skeptic at first.
Way back.
Yeah. And then we liked him. I
mean, so like his journey has just been an amazing journey. And like my relationship as an audience member to him has been amazing with like its ups and its downs. But this season especially, my feelings towards him, just anytime he came on the screen and I heard his voice towards the end, it was like nails on a chalkboard. I hated him so much by the end. So because the actor was able to get that response from me and the animators and the show creators, I have to acknowledge him. On that same token, I have to acknowledge Harriet.
Ooh, okay.
Because they did such a great job with her arc from like caring so much about Clover that she went well off the deep end into this sort of like self-righteous, blind loyalty kind of villain path. And at the end, it cost her yet another friend. So like that arc, I think for her was really good. I also hated her and very much wanted to punch her freaking face every time she came on screen.
Wow.
So I have to acknowledge that. Once again, well done to the actor, illustrators, show creators. Oscar. I got to give it to and it's like an Oscar Oz slash, right? Because like they have been kind of conjoined in this. But Oscar just had some great moments of, I think, like human intelligence that Oz is maybe a little bit removed from and kind of like more, I don't know, lofty sounds weird, but he's like
ethereal.
More like lofty and ethereal and detached from like basic humanity. And that was something that Oscar was able to utilize. It was sometimes the only thing that he had at his disposal was an ability to understand people. So I like the sort of dueling personalities that are existing within Oscar. I like the sort of like what's the sort of melancholy that we feel whenever we think about how Oz is going to take over Oscar and we're going to kind of lose Oscar because they've done a really good job making us get attached to Oscar as well. I remember the first time that Oscar came on screen, I was sort of like, who's
this little farm boy kid?
Yeah, why are we following this guy? What's going on? And so to like come from that to like us really being attached to him, I think that was a good job as well. And that's my top. Wow,
3.
That's 3. Yeah. Okay. I really did give the majority of it to the villains.
No, you got 2. So far, it's not even a half.
All right. What about you?
The top 5.
Oh, top 5. Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of characters. So that's why you get 5.
Winter.
Yeah.
She's had an incredible journey this season from unquestioning, following orders, a loyalty that I think was at one time well placed, but became misplaced when the general's story just kind of deteriorated or his morals deteriorated. So I think her discovery of she can be a fantastic leader, she can get people to follow her, and she can do that by being her own woman and following what she knows to be right and wrong versus just being somebody else's second in command and sort of like playing that middle management road where she's not really getting to be a decision maker. Like she's better as a decision maker and that discovery for herself and then coming into the maiden's powers. I also loved the humanity that she showed when she realized what Penny was doing. It was like, no. Like she realized right away, now it's starting to hit me, realized right away what it meant and like didn't want it.
Okay, so my top 5, we'll get back to your last one. So Winter and Ironwood, for sure, for the reasons that you mentioned. And then also, I'm going to throw Marrow in there for being a good boy.
Yes.
And being the only Aesop, the first one, even before Winter, to really sort of recognize what the general was becoming and what their orders were, and not lining up with his values and his morals and his ethics and his ideals. And so going against them and being the first, just to step out of line, I think that's kind of the toughest to do, right? And I think that gave the courage for Winter to do what she did as well. If this kid's going to step up and basically going to get killed right now unless I do something, okay, like no, now I need to follow through, and it's Ironwood's too far gone. I think Winter had come to that conclusion much earlier than that, but don't think it was until then that she just finally like decided to like really put it into action. I think before she was just trying to sort out what to do, like how do I stop this madman? So it's my top 3. Do you want to give your 5th?
I do. I don't know if I'm going to get through it. Penny.
Yeah. Penny would be my in my as well. So she's my, fourth slot or whatever. She's not necessarily 4th in the rankings, but yeah. She finally got what she always wanted, in a Pinocchio journey, and she got to be a real girl. And she was always always viewed her that way. Always viewed her more as a person than a machine. But then she finally got to realize that it's a short while. It wasn't long enough. But she did get to realize it. And then, at the end there, when she wanted to make that decision for herself, and the sacrifice that she made was huge. Yeah. Don't know if you want to say anything else, or if you could. Okay. I'm going to give the 5th spot to. Oh man, it's tough. Can't believe I'm gonna. I'm gonna give the 5th spot to Jean.
Ooh.
Mainly for at the end there. For what he did, and like just knowing how tough that was for him to do.
Yeah.
And talk about the sacrifice that Penny made. Like, it's one thing just to know you met your end or whatever, and she could have had Jean try to heal her, but she didn't let him. Like, it's another thing to be the one to actually like do it. Sean's not an executioner, and it's tough. It was the right thing to do, but doesn't make it any easier. And also Jean, he's just been a beacon for so many different people, like for Ren. And when that group was starting to lose focus, lose hope, Jean was always there to keep the group going, which is what RWBY does a lot. And, RWBY gets a lot of credit for it. And I don't think Jean gets enough credit for it, for having that same sort of attitude and in leadership, and leading by example, as opposed to barking orders and being the kind of leader that like Ironwood is.
Yeah.
His is more lead by example. And so that's another character, I think, that has just grown so much. I mean, there are times where I think I just didn't like Jean at all. I'm like, oh God. I'm trying to think of like the reasons I didn't like him, but I know there were times when I was really pissed at him, mainly because he couldn't see what was right in front of his freaking face. Pyrrha, the coolest chick in the world, likes you. And at that time, we weren't super fans of Weiss. And I was like, oh, dude, why are you going after Weiss? Like, this girl is so amazing and she wants you. What is wrong with you? How can you not see this? Yeah. And so he's just come a long way, and it's been like organic. Nothing, it hasn't been forced. He has had big moments like the moment in this episode, but I don't feel like there was. I mean, I have to go back. Maybe there was, but like there's certain moments you see like it's like, okay, this was the turning point for that character and that person. Like, you could go back to Pierre's death, but I think even before that you started you'd changed and grown more. But like, that affected him, and like he's just taken everything that life's given him and continued to build and be a better person as the journey goes on. And to me, that's the most like realistic way of a growth in a person. Like very rarely is it something where like a big moment happens and like it changes and like all of a sudden, boom, like, okay, I'm making the right decisions, and like now my character has changed. So I've just appreciated that about John's character.
Yeah, it's interesting how as you say that, I was like, yeah, you know how you always say you always hear people say, oh, people don't change.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They don't change. They grow.
Yeah.
Growth is a process. Change implies like an overnight or immediate significant adjustment,
mm-hmm.
which is pretty rare in people.
Yeah.
But people can grow, and they can learn from their mistakes, and they can learn from their successes, and they can be like, okay, I now know how I want to be as a person and the decisions I want to make so that I can be that person.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's what people do. They don't change overnight. They grow.
So if you want to jump ahead to season 9 right now, or volume 9, then check out Patreon. Links in the description on this video. We're a month ahead over there. Next week, we'll be checking out the soundtrack for RWBY, volume 8. And let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. Thanks so much for watching RWBY with us, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.